So hello, welcome.
Hello.
You're here. We wanted to talk with you about where the hydrogen society that Japan wants to build,
Yes.
and you're part of it. So where do we stand at the moment? You had this big initiative announced back in March. So where do we stand at the moment in terms of stations, planning, and where are we going in Japan?
So as you know, first Japan is leading the show because in the Hydrogen Society, and especially for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan wanted really to be the first to launch this Hydrogen Society. We are part of the consortium, so with others company, and we are building stations, filling stations of hydrogen. I have inaugurated one close to the airport of Haneda a month ago, and today we have seven stations working, and we plan to have 40 stations all over Japan, okay, which with the other players are going to cover all Japan in order that you can refuel everywhere in Japan with hydrogen.
Okay. What's the schedule for the 40 plants?
Well, we expect to be almost for the Olympic Games ready, okay, in order that we can really have on a large scale an hydrogen society together, Air Liquide plus the others players.
Where do we stand in terms of profitability? Because my understanding was the standards are so harsh and difficult and severe here that it's more difficult to get your station profitable. Is it improving? Is the Japanese government agreeing to change some of the standards? Where do we stand?
The government is aware of it. We share it with the METI many times, and we are working, we have joint teams in order to make the norms evolving. Of course, seeing what is happening elsewhere, like in Europe, like in the US, where Hydrogen Society also is starting. Today, we are waiting for the first results still, which, it's true, makes a hurdle for having the right profitability on the station today. Now, we know also that the scale is going to help a lot. And therefore, to reach this level, this scale, the Japanese government is helping us through the consortium in order to build already this station, although the profitability is not there for the moment.
Okay. The car makers, you're working with Toyota also.
Very much.
So where do they stand? Because at the same time, Japanese car makers are doing this huge push in EVs because they were a bit late on some of the players in Europe, in the US. Can they fight on both fronts, both hydrogen, fuel cell cars and electric cars? So
first, you know, there is no big difference between an EV and a fuel cell car, because a fuel cell car is an electrical vehicle. Okay, the only difference is that you have a battery in one type of EVs, and for hydrogen car you produce yourself the energy on board. Okay, but it is an electric car. So yes, the Japanese car makers, especially Toyota, was very much in advance in terms of hydrogen cars, and so they still are, because if I see the number of cars produced every year, hydrogen cars produced every year, Toyota is leading the show by far. Okay, the Koreans are also very dynamic, and other Europeans start also to produce some cars. Now, Toyota is a major partner because is number one or close to number one in the world, and for hydrogen energy, definitively number one. So they are very dynamic, very pushing, and very contributive in the Hydrogen Council, where they co-chair with us this worldwide council in order to promote hydrogen in the world.
Another subject that you didn't develop any project yet in Japan is biomethane. You're doing that in other countries. Would it be relevant in Japan? Is it something that you're already discussing with your partners here?
So biomethane is indeed a very interesting way of producing hydrogen and renewable hydrogen. So it's to be sure to have a carbon-free hydrogen for fueling, for example, the stations on the cars. That's something which is not existing so far in Japan, but we can imagine to have it because Japan has big cities, okay, and so you have landfills where you can imagine to have to extract some biomethane. And also Japan has a large agriculture, and agriculture is also producing from waste of agriculture biomethane. Some countries are more advanced than Japan, but again, that's something we can investigate in Japan also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.